Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Sliver is a 1993 American thriller film that's based on a novel by Ira Levine that bears the same name. It revolves around the mysterious occurrences in a privately owned New York high-rise. Philip Noyce directed the project with a screenplay done by Joe Esterhaas. The storyline goes that Carly Norris, a book editor and divorcee in her mid-30s, moves into the exclusive New York City Sliver building, 113. She meets other tenants, including Zeke, a video game designer, Jack, who's a novelist, Vida, who's a fashion model that also moonlights as a call girl, and Gus, who's a professor of videography at New York University. They all tell Carly that she bears a striking resemblance to Naomi Singer, the previous tenant of her apartment, who fell to her death from her balcony. After running into Zeke numerous times, Carly invites him to her housewarming party. Soon after, they begin a physical relationship. Jack ends up starting to stalk Carly and warning her about Zeke, who he states is sick. As Jack's behavior becomes more erratic, Gus dies in the shower under very suspicious circumstances, and Vida is murdered, with police suspicion falling on Jack for her death after Carly discovers him in the stairwell with her corpse. Zeke eventually reveals to Carly that he's the owner of 113, which he bought with his inheritance money from his wealthy father. As owner of 113, Zeke has installed a comprehensive video surveillance system throughout the building, allowing him to spy on all the tenants from his own secret surveillance room. Through deduction and eventually one of Zeke's secret recordings, Carly learns who was the killer of Naomi. Angry at Zeke for withholding evidence in Naomi's murder, Carly destroys his surveillance room and tells him to get a life and then leaves. In the movie, the tall and narrow Sliver building is located at 113 East 38th Street in Manhattan, placing it at 38th Street and Park Avenue. The actual building used in the film is known as Morgan Court, which is located at 211 Madison Avenue, 1 block west and 2 blocks south of the fictional address. This building has since become a condominium development. It was built in 1985 and has 32 floors. While the movie did make use of the building's courtyard, the lobby was actually shot on a Los Angeles film set. In the film's original ending, Zeke, instead of Jack, turns out to be the antagonist. After the police assume Jack to be the murderer, Carly and Zeke burn the videotapes. Soon afterwards, they wed atop the Sliver building. On their honeymoon, they fly a helicopter over a Hawaiian volcano, where Carly reveals that she knows who the killer is. She tells him she still has the tape of him murdering Gus in the shower, and that it's safe, implying that she is willing to cover up his crimes. The scene then cuts to Zeke's surveillance room, where the televisions display nothing but static. The end credits roll and leave the audience to decide whether the two end up surviving. Now, there's some bizarre stuff that went on between Sharon Stone and William Baldwin during the filming, and we'll get into a little bit more of it later on. But one of the times where they were filming a kissing scene, Sharon Stone bit William Baldwin's tongue with such force that he really couldn't talk properly for a day or so afterwards. And according to the director, these two disliked each other from the start and demanded their scenes try to be filmed separately whenever possible. During production, a crew was sent to Hawaii to film an active volcano for the opening credits and for that sequence at the end of the film. During the flyover, the volcano erupted, and the helicopter carrying the crew crashed. No one was killed, but all the film footage was lost. This opening credit scene is referenced in the film by the crystal volcano in Zeke's room. Originally, the script called for full male frontal nudity, but after the scenes had been shot, William Baldwin changed his mind about showing his stuff to the whole nation, so that part was edited out. Sharon Stone signed for the lead in the film for $2.5 million, which was a 5-fold increase over her Basic Instinct salary. When you combine that with the points that she got for the film's box office gross, the total would rise to 8 times what she earned from Basic Instinct. Her contract also gave her approval over any nudity or sex scenes, as Stone wished to avoid the kind of situation that she had in Basic Instinct, where the infamous leg crossing shot was used without her consent. Ira Levine was reluctant to sell the rights to his book. He had only been pleased with the movie adaptation of Rosemary's Baby from 1968, out of all the attempts to film his novels. When producer Robert Evans, who had produced Rosemary's Baby, got wind of his reluctance, he sent Levine a copy of Roman Polanski's autobiography with all the mentions of Evans salvaging the film highlighted. This ploy ended up working, and Levine sold the rights to Evans for $250,000. Australia was set to have the soft U.S. theatrical version released in cinemas. United International Pictures, the international distributors of the film, had even had the posters printed up with the lower MA rating which that version had received. But at the last minute, they decided to release the complete uncut version in theaters. All the one-sheet posters that they had printed, and there were thousands, had to have an R-rated sticker placed over the MA rating. Now, Sharon Stone recently claimed that the producer, Robert Evans, suggested that she sleep with William Baldwin in order to really improve their on-screen chemistry. She was completely appalled at the suggestion. William Baldwin, in turn, denies all this, claiming that he rebuffed flirtation from Stone constantly during the shoot. Baldwin went on further to say that the relationship got so awkward during filming that they did their best to do the setups in their physical scenes where they wouldn't have to look at each other and kiss head on. Who knows the truth about which one is telling the truth of these stories? Go back and take a look at this really interesting film. I think you might enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.